Hi, and welcome to Scholarly.2018. Today we're going to be talking about exponents and the 8 laws that govern exponents and how to calculate them and evaluate them in your equations. We'll do some examples with numbers for the variables so that we can get a good grasp, and you can use this as a reference to come back to. So we'll try to make it quick. First, when we're doing the product with the same base, okay, so we have the same base x and different exponents on the a and b, or I'm sorry, different exponents, and those exponents are a and b. So what we're going to do here is, this is really simple. We'll take the same base, move it over here, and add these exponents together. All right, so what this will look like in a number format is if we have 2 raised to the second power times 2 raised to the 4th power, that's going to equal 2 raised to the 6th power. All right, and it's as easy as that. The next one we're going to go over is the power to power. All right, so we'll have x, put a 2 here, we'll have x raised to the 3rd power, x cubed raised to the 4th power. All right, what we're going to do in this situation, now we see what's going on here. We have a grouping we have to do, and then also as far as our order of operations, we have a group that needs to be taken care of, and then also we have our exponent outside, which comes second to the grouping. All right, so if we do that, then we have x, right? And then we're going to take that and we're going to multiply it by both of these, because we don't know what this number is, correct? So what that's going to look like is if we have 2 to the 3rd, this should be an A and a B. It should be an A and a B here, okay? Let's erase that for you, so just so we can follow the proper. Let's put it in here, put x to the A, x to the B, and it's going to equal x, A times B. All right? So what that'll look like is, if we substitute A and B, is A will be 2 and B will be 4. Excuse me, 2 and 4. So we have 2 times 4. Or we don't want to put that x in there. We want to use the standard multiplication, in which this will equal 8. 2 to the 8th power. One is going to be the when you have quotients. All right, when you have a numerator and a denominator with like bases. So we'll go ahead and say that x to the a power over x to the b power equals, okay? And this is very simple. All we're going to do here is take those bases, a minus b. We're going to subtract the denominator from the numerator. So we're going to subtract the a from, or I'm sorry, we're going to subtract the b from the a. So it's a minus b. All right, numerator, denominator. So if we put a number in here, 3, we'll say x equals 3. 3, and we'll say that that's a 4, and that this is a 2. Okay, so we'll say 4 minus 2 equals 3 over, 3 squared. All right? And that's a very easy one in and of itself. The next one we'll do is product of the product of x or products of variables to a power. Okay, what that's going to look like is, if I have an x and a y variable, all right, and I need to know the product of those first, and then we're going to go to the power of a. What we want to pay attention here, again, is the grouping, exponents, and we want to go in order of the order of operations. And this is a really simple thing also. So we'll do x, we're going to do we're going to do x, okay? We have to use the distributive property of multiplication for that. So we'll do x to the a power times y to the a power. All right? Now, if we put in numbers for those, we'll say x is 3, y is 4, and our a is 5. Okay, so we'll have 3. We'll have 3 times 4 to the 5th power. Now, we can actually calculate this and come all the way down to it and get the numbers. You'll have 15 here, and you'll have 20 here, and then you multiply 15 by 20, right? So what this will look like is, we'll do 15 here and 20 here because we have to do the distributive property of multiplication, okay? Now, we raise both of these to that power first. So it's not 15, it'd be 3 to the 5th power, and then 4 to the 5th power. And we'll multiply. All right, now our 5th one is quotient to a power. So we'll take the same x over y, and we have to do this math first inside the grouping, and then we can raise it to the power. So in this situation, this is very easy also. This is going to equal x to that power of a over y to that power of a. All right? And if we substitute numbers in there also, we'll have the, let's go ahead and do that. We'll say that's 2 and 3, and a is 2. All right, so we'll have 2 over 3, all right? And we said this was 2 out here, so then we'll bring that here, and our 2, we'll have 2 to 2 squared over 3 squared, and then we'll follow our order of operations and break that down, and we'll actually be able to have get a whole number out of that also. Okay, so we're going to do number 6, and that's a really easy one. It's just the 0 power. All right, and all this says is that x to the 0 is going to equal 1. We can do 5/3. We can do 5/3 to the 0 power. That's going to equal 1. Okay. If this was x, it's any number to the 0 power is going to equal 1. It's going to give you 1 every time. All right. We'll leave that up there also. So now moving on to number 7, we have the negative powers. Okay, so we'll have a x to the negative a. All right, and this is a really easy one also. Whenever you see a negative number, you know you're going to want to take the reciprocal somewhere. So you have to remember that you want an inverse operation, and vice versa. If you have an inverse operation, you can come unless the textbook or class tells you that you can't use negative exponents, which some of them do. You're going to know that when you have a fraction, you can take the reciprocal or the inverse of that fraction. So what we're going to do here, x to the negative a is just the same as saying 1 over x to the a. Okay? Remember that one. That one's going to come in handy. They're going to throw those at you, and it's going to be in a lot of your tests, a lot of your exams. Might be a little bit more in depth than that, but that's something that we need to. That's something that you need to be familiar with, and just refer back to this video if you need help with that. All right. So we're going to go to the 8th one, and the 8th one is just the inverse operation of that. However, we're going to have, and you'll see how these last two, 7 and 8, correlate with each other. This is a quotient to the power. All right. So we'll have 1 over x to the negative a. All right, negative a. And what that's all that's going to equal is x over a. Okay, I'm sorry, x to the a power. All right. So you can see that x to the negative a here, the inverse of that is 1 of x to the a, right? 1 of x to the negative a equals x to the positive a. So we can see how these kind of line up. All right, and that'll do it for this lesson in exponents on Scholarly.2018. Leave comments, share, like the page. You can always refer back to this if you have any suggestions or videos you'd like to submit yourself. Please let us know. See you next time.